Today on Meals and Miles, we're going to walk on water at Paddleboard Orlando Yoga. We're here with David, who is the owner of Paddleboard Orlando. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
And thanks for having us. Beautiful outside for this.
Yeah, perfect day to give it a shot. It's prime for yoga on water.
Yes, perfect. So tell us a little bit about paddleboarding and how you got involved with it.
Well, I got involved early last year, about this time. April 1st was actually our 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And thank you. I actually got started by doing a yoga on water class. And while I was out there, I fell in love with the yoga. You're outside instead of being confined in a studio. And then the paddleboarding kind of captured my heart as well. So that was how I got into it.
You said you got started in April of 2009?
Yeah, we were started actually in August of 2009.
August. Sorry.
And primarily doing the yoga on water. And now we've opened it up to beginners lessons and adventure tours and obviously our yoga on water and workout on water classes.
How often do you guys do the yoga on water?
Yoga on water is scheduled 3 times a week on Monday nights, Friday afternoons, and then Saturday at 1:30.
And how big are the classes usually?
It depends on the time of day, but it's anywhere between 4 to 15 people.
It looks pretty intense out there, the yoga on the paddleboard. How is it different than with doing it on the paddleboard as opposed to just doing it in a regular class?
Well, when you're in your normal studio setting, you typically get pretty comfortable with the postures and the poses, and bringing the paddleboarding aspect in adds a little bit more of a challenge to your typical down dog. There's a ton of core work, and a lot of our positions are modified for the paddleboard, and you can also step it up and do the normal positions you would in the studio if you have the gusto.
So the modified ones make it easier, and if you were to do the regular ones, you're just adding that oomph of power.
Yep, you're adding it, kind of taking it to the next level.
Ooh, sounds scary.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. We're gonna have a good time.
So what kind of workout benefits do you get from paddleboarding?
Well, paddleboarding is kind of known as the Hawaiian full body workout. So essentially it targets your glutes, your quads, your core, abs and obliques, shoulders, lats, triceps and biceps.
You're getting the full body.
You get the full body workout. It really does everything. We had a lady who was 58 wear a heart monitor for us, and in an hour and 15-minute class, she burnt 780 calories. So it's
no joke.
It's a great alternative to getting into the gym.
Yeah, and in this type of weather, you're also getting that hot yoga element that's really popular right now.
There's plenty of sweating, and don't worry, there's no shortage of water to cool you off. So
yeah, so do you actually go into the water? What's the odds of me falling during the class?
Well, my typical spiel is 95% of people do not fall in, but in the
95%.
In the yoga on water classes, that tends to be a little bit higher. But normally you'll look back and the person who's fallen in is me. So most of the yogis stay on top of the board.
I don't know, you might see me in the water.
Yeah, well, it's a nice day to be in.
Those are pretty good odds though, so these must be really stable.
Yeah, we made sure that when we got our fleet, we have a lot of boards that are much larger than the average paddleboard, with also flat decks and large pads to make the yoga on water a lot easier.
Okay, so they're special yoga power boards.
We have a few boards that are specially made for yoga on water, yep.
All right, obviously a lot of equipment is involved in yoga paddleboarding that most people don't have. Is there a way we can rent it, or does it automatically come in the fee?
Yeah, it is actually included in the fee. The fee's $25, and it includes the board, the paddleboard instruction if you've never done paddleboarding before, and a yoga instructor that comes out and does the class.
So you're not the one teaching?
I am not the one teaching, although I would love to be at some point. And if you have your own gear, if you have your own board and paddle, there's a reduced rate, and you're more than welcome to join our class.
Now, this is a Florida lake we're about to go into,
yes.
And Florida lakes aren't usually that friendly because of gators.
Our little green friends.
Yes, our little green friends. And I'm a Seminole, so I don't like gators.
Yes. Well, the biggest thing, in all Florida lakes, there are going to be alligators, but they are more afraid of you than you are of them. And in my 1 year of doing this on all the lakes, being out here every day, I've personally never seen a gator on the 2 lakes we do yoga on water. So
Haven't seen one yet.
Haven't seen one yet. And then you have the paddle in your hand, so if you want to give them a little tap on the head if they come too close, that's always an option. But it's really nothing to worry about.
That's okay. I think you just have to be the slowest person, right?
Yeah.
With as the owner, it has to be you, right? Like the captain of the boat stays out.
I always take the fall. Yes. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Well, hello, I'm Mitch English, and I'm from the television show The Daily Buzz. If you're not familiar with us, well, shame on you, because we are a morning news and entertainment show shown all over the United States of America. But actually, we broadcast right here from the Orlando area at the Full Sail campus in Winter Park. Did you know that? Well, you should know. You should check us out on these fine stations every morning. And if you want to get a little taste of what our show's all about, we'll be giving you short samples each week. It's all brought to you by Eyes on Orlando.
Julie now, and Julie will be our yoga instructor for today. Hi.
Hi, Megan.
Hi. Okay, so yoga and paddleboarding, how do you get involved with that? Did you start off on land and then get pulled, or did you start off on the paddleboard and then start the yoga?
I had a friend of mine, Kim, who worked for Orlando Paddleboard, and she showed me what she was doing, and I just fell in love with it. I was intrigued, and I came out, and I have not stopped since then.
So it's just a natural progression.
It is natural progression. I teach the majority of my classes outside. I'm always looking for another park or dock in Central Florida to teach yoga on, and this was like a floating dock, and it just really resonated with me, and I've been loving it ever since. So it's been about a year I've been teaching on the water.
How do you deal with balance on the board with the yoga?
Well, it definitely plays a little more into your core, and a lot of the students that have come out from the studio say that it is a big difference. The simplest things, like tree pose, are extremely difficult out there.
I can imagine just shaking. I mean, that's difficult on land to keep the balance with that.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that dogward down was interesting too.
Yes. Downward facing dog is very interesting, but it's fun. It's a good pose. It's something that anybody can do. The boards are very wide and very stable.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, not too many people fall in. You'll be fine.
What kind of yoga is it? Is it more of a flow class?
No, it's more of a hatha class where you will come into a pose and you'll just really get stabilized and take a few breaths and just calm down and look around and just be wowed by everything. And then, we'll come down or we'll move from one pose to another, but it's not like a quick Ashtanga type of a flow.
So it's really peaceful out there.
Very peaceful. Shavasana, the very last, final relaxation, is incredible. I stay up on my board and just make sure that no one bumps or no alligators jump up onto the boards, but other than that, that's the best part. Everybody likes. It's just a very, very cool workout, and then you incorporate a little bit of yoga in there too, and it's a full body, full mind workout.
Just being one with nature the way yoga was intended.
Exactly. Yeah, can't wait to get you out there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Voila.
All right, well, we just finished and it was an amazing experience. I can't wait to come back. You get the nice cardio in the beginning as you're paddling out, and then you get the strength training and balancing with the actual yoga, and then a nice relaxation with the savasana at the end. It's an amazing experience. Can't wait to come back and do it again. Today's paddle yoga class was extra special because I had my little sister here with me. This is Kelly, and this was also her first time trying paddle yoga. What did you think?
It was amazing. I was nervous when we first started, but once you get out there and you start paddling, you just adapt really well to it.
It's that initial step on the paddleboard that's really scary, but I like the way how they make you go on. They kind of ease you into it because you start low on the ground and then you stand up instead of just stepping onto the board and, you know, falling off.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the poses we were doing? It was kind of shaky.
Yeah, it's so different than in a regular yoga studio. You're working so many more muscles just trying to stay balanced on it, but I really enjoyed that extra part to it.
It was, you've never experienced downward dog until you've experienced downward dog on a shaking paddleboard.
Yeah.
Or wheel. And you were attempting a dancer's pose, and what happened there, Kelly?
So I was trying to do dancer, and I just kind of fell off the board and right into the water.
Right smack in. You were that 5% that they say fall into the water every time.
Yes.
Lucky Kelly. She has those great odds.
It's very refreshing, you know. It wasn't even that bad to fall in, so it's worth trying to do a pose to fall in the water.
I like to point out that I did the pose first. She
And
was trying to
did not
copy me.
I can do it better on land.
So you think you'll be back?
Yeah, definitely. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
I loved the beautiful setting too. The sun was actually setting during our savasana. It was peaceful. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The clouds and the trees and the water, and you could feel the breeze laying in savasana. I loved that part.
Yeah, and this was a great family activity. I want to come back and bring mom and dad and our two brothers.
I want to bring the whole family out here. They would all love it.
Exactly. Great. Looking for a quick and tasty dessert to satisfy your nightly sweet tooth? Try this cannoli-inspired low-calorie treat. Combine half a cup of fresh chopped strawberries, a third a cup of part-skimmed ricotta cheese, 1 tablespoon of dark chocolate chips, and 1 teaspoon of honey. Mix and enjoy for dessert, or serve with granola for a fun breakfast treat. That's it for this week's episode of Meals and Miles. Tune in next week when we bust another myth that you have to stay in the gym to stay fit. See ya!